Taylor, thanks for your time today.
Pleasure.
And speaking of time, there's a bit more of that in your life, isn't there, from a footy perspective at least, without the burden of being the Crows captain?
No, I wouldn't call it burden. Certainly a privilege to be able to lead a great footy club. Has freed up a bit of time. There was obviously some reasons why I decided my time as captain was at the end. Obviously having a family, getting to the end of my career, wanting to spend more time with family and spend more time actually just playing. And I thought as a football club our transition into the next phase is critical in someone else taking that role.
And of those 5 years, 4 in your own right as captain and 1 as a co-captain, you look back on that period of your life with great pride in what you did?
Yeah, certainly. I think football careers go so quickly, so it's certainly something, once I retire and you sit around, you have a beer with mates and family, you can sit back and say how lucky I was to be able to lead the footy club and play a fair amount of games and do some certain things that I've been lucky enough to do. And yeah, I loved it. Obviously, challenging times as a football club. Lost a coach, coaches. I've changed coaches. Lost a grand final. Played some really good football. As a group, we've grown. We created something really special, and not many people would be able to say they got to a grand final, albeit we lost. No one died out of it, so we certainly live and learn. And probably as a footy club, if you could live in hindsight, we probably would have reviewed the grand final straight away rather than go on your break and come back, because we were very confident going into it, and then not to win it, a lot of boys stewed on it. So I was one of them, and then to come back there's still a lot of shit on my liver, and
really?
A lot of boys could say probably the same thing.
Yeah, it's interesting for you to have that view now, isn't it? 2 years on from what you didn't do at that time, so it would have been better off to deal with it in the days even. After,
I think so, and I think Pikey and the coaching group, we all agreed that we probably, in hindsight, would, if we were potentially to make another grand final and things didn't fall our way, would review it straight away.
You touched on it a moment ago about the 2 years beyond the grand final. They've been tough years, haven't they? They've been tough on everyone associated with the club. They've been tough on you personally. Are you able to share a little bit of that to the people watching this video now as to how tough it was for you personally?
Yeah, certainly when things don't go the way planned, it's challenging. Challenging as a leader of any form of business, football club, sporting, whatever it is, you feel a lot more on your shoulders, because you just do. That's what you do as a leader. You want the best for your group, and we didn't perform. And to find reasons why, and try and find reasons why, but try and continue to do your daily activities and train and get better and play on the weekend. It was tough, and not only tough on myself, on other players, on families, and then obviously South Australia is quite a little town in Australia, but everything's microscoped, and it does get tough. It's sometimes, there was times where I wouldn't go out because I wouldn't want to see supporters or people in the general public, because they'd have their views and opinions, and you get sick of hearing it. So yeah, it's tough in a way, but yeah, that's just life.
You were pretty raw, weren't you, at the end of last year when, for a second year, you'd missed the finals, and then obviously the coach had been moved on, and you were obviously deliberating your own situation with the captaincy and even other situations. Again, without wanting you to reveal all, are you able to tell us what you were going through then? Because there was a patch there where you were pretty raw, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought we should have played finals. It's plain and simple, and we didn't. And then your mind starts to think, like, is this the best place for me? How long have I got left in my career? Do I step aside? Do I stay on? And you just bounce. And I'd imagine a lot of players would bounce from things like that. And then you just come to the decision that I'm a loyal person, so I'd obviously thinking about, is this the place for me to stay to continue my football career?
How long did that last in your mind?
Oh, a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
month. I'm not too sure.
Did you
exactly.
act on it? Did you test?
No.
the market?
Look, you speak to the people that you trust,
Yeah.
but in the end, there's no way in the world I could leave this footy club, and I think probably what kept me at the footy club was I feel like I've got a lot to give, and our young group needs me, and I feel like I can give a lot to the footy club towards the back end of my career.
As a big name in a small town, as you said yourself, in the town sense, and then being captain of that team, did you feel a certain pressure to present to the public in a way that maybe wasn't you?
I think there'd be times where you can't be yourself.
Yep.
You're representing a very big football club, entity, business, whether it be at corporate level or just day-to-day things. You certainly do double guess yourself and think, oh, can I be myself, or am I having to represent the footy club? So you certainly, there are things, but in saying that, now that I feel a little bit more free, feel like a bit of a bird, that I can fly a little bit, and there's not a weight on my shoulders to do that. And I'm not saying that I won't represent the footy club in the way I should, but
just not having the title.
Just not having the title,
yeah. And now that you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever years left, that'll be the different text.
5 would be nice.
Not
Would
5.
be nice.
4.
I might get you as my manager and speak to Reedy. Well, I'm contracted for another 2 years, so this year and next year, and that'll get me to 31. And I think my body's healthy. I've done most of the pre-season this year, so I'd like to think that past that I could play another year or two. And but at the end of 2 years, I'll be realistic. Is where am I at mentally? Where am I at physically? So we'll just cross that bridge when I get to it.
Yeah, you obviously had some periods of reflection, and some of them forced, obviously, with what you were referring to at the end of last year, and even now with this new life without the captaincy title. Are there any other regrets, Tex, in what you've reflected upon?
No, I don't think I'll ever say I've got a regret in anything.
You do a thing for a certain way at a certain
time. Yeah, I just do it. I do things because I think it's the right thing to do, or that's just the way I live. Yeah. And then if I look back and think, oh, that probably wasn't the right thing, then I'll change it next time I do it. I would never say it's a regret of mine. Yeah. Like the grand final, for instance, that's not a regret. Not many kids can say that they played in the grand final. Yeah. We didn't win, but
you got there.
We got there. Yeah. We were the best team all year, and one game defines results, and we didn't win. That's just the way it is.
Do you view yourself, Tex, as an old school person and footballer, the way you approach football and I suppose by extension life? Hard on sleeve all the time and protective of everything around you.
I've certainly been caught out in the industry, probably wearing my heart on my sleeve too much.
In what way, mate?
For example, when Jake Lever left, I was quite vocal about it because I'm passionate, I'm loyal, I want people to stay in my footy club, and it wasn't a personal attack at Jake. It was more about how much I loved him, and I just wanted him to stay, but it didn't fall that way. And I've learned from that. You learn. You don't.
What did you learn?
Well, the industry is that people are going to come and go. That's just the way it is. And then I thought, how do I put myself in Jake's shoes? And I was like, if there was a Broken Hill team and there was an opportunity for me to go back home, would I do it? And I thought, I probably would. My family, all my best mates are back there, so that's the way I sort of computed things and navigated my way through instance like that. But these things happen.
They do. Have you spoken to him about that?
No, I haven't. One day I'll have a beer with him and explain to him exactly what I meant. But I chat to him a little bit here and there, Jake, and hopefully he understands. Probably didn't come across the way it should have, but deep down the way, that's just where I sort of come from. I'm black and white. Most people that really know me know that I'm just black and white. I'll say it how it is, and I'd rather be like that than be grey and not understand where people fit and sit with me.
Will you personally get involved with Brad Crouch as he deliberates over his
friends? Yeah. Well, he's one of my best mates.
Is he?
So Brad knows how I feel, but in saying that, I've learnt it's up to Brad.
Right.
It's I'm not going to tell him what to do. It's up to Brad to decide where he thinks his best future is.
Sure. Yep. As part of this reflection you've had in footy, it's coincided with probably the greatest moment of your life, hasn't it? The birth of Hugo.
Yeah, it's amazing. Little Hugo's 3 months old now, and yeah, it's amazing. Like, he rolled over for the first time in his sleep this week, and yeah, it's mum or Ellie was quite nervous and scared about it, in and out, but it's just amazing. Like, when he first came out, I thought, bloody hell, I've known you forever, and you're just my best mate. And I'd only just met him, but you just cherish moments that you have with them because it's gone so quickly, even from birth to 3 months. It's amazing. I've always loved kids, and my brother's got 2 little boys. And to have nephews, and you can always handball them back once you stir them up or bring some tears out. But to have your own, you can't explain to people that don't have kids the excitement and enjoyment you get out of it.
Has it changed you in that 3-month period?
I don't know whether I'm the person to ask. I'd probably ask people around me, but certainly I think little things don't matter anymore. Obviously, priorities, you get them in order, and you just you love going home, whether you've had a good day, bad day. They just look at you and think, bloody, he's starting to smile now, and it's amazing. You think you're on top of the world, and they rely so heavily on myself and Ellie, but yeah, I love it, and I've already said to Ellie I can't wait to have another one.
And just as we sit here on the eve of this season, you've been around probably too long to try and put a win-loss prediction on the year, but what do you want to get out of it, given what's happened in 18 and 19?
I reckon every team right now would be saying, let's make finals.
Yeah.
And I believe that we can make finals. I don't want to go into the season thinking, let's just finish down the bottom, or and I think we're really capable of playing finals. And no one's rating us, which is good on them. That's their opinion, but hopefully we can show the people wrong.